Hey everyone, Officer Shane Spielman here for Anaheim Police Department's Ask a Motor Cop. And today I'm joined by my boss, Sergeant Rick Boyer. Rick, why are we here today?
We're here because, back in April with coronavirus, that's when we usually do National Distracted Driving Month.
Correct.
And so because of the coronavirus, they opted to cancel that because a lot of the activities that we do related to that, we couldn't do because of the virus and the way we were handling things back then. That's when it first kicked off. So what we've done is they've come back and we are actually doing Distracted Driving Week, and that's October 5th through the 12th. So really what I wanted to do was, that's why I grabbed you, was see if we could come on and just try to bring a little awareness to distracted driving, let people know that we're going to be out doing some directed enforcement where I'm going to be sending the guys out to monitor distracted driving issues and stuff like that. So be aware there's going to be more diligent motor patrols based on looking for distracted driving.
Absolutely. So with that, with Distracted Driving Week, I wanted to hit you folks with a couple of statistics. So maybe it's stuff you've heard or possibly thought about, but for those of you who are kind of oblivious to it, here we go. So the first one is 16% of all distracted driving crashes involve drivers under the age of 20. So, I mean, that's huge. I mean, cell phones are a part of everybody's lives now, but especially younger people. I mean,
Right.
look at social media and other social media style apps.
So here's
it's
one of the
everywhere.
things that I had to consider when my kids started driving, was that we had older cars that we had set aside and planned to have the kids drive.
Right.
And so unfortunately what you have to realize is that from 16 to 18, kids aren't allowed to use their phones at all while they're driving. At the same time, as reasonable parents, we know that they never do what they're told. And so they're going to touch their phones. They're going to use their phones. So what's the best thing we can do? Try to make the cars as safe as possible. What I ended up doing in one of my cars was I actually upgraded the stereo system so that, because a lot of the stereos now have applications for hand-free use.
Oh, yeah.
So then that way they were able to use the voice controls inside
Sure.
the car and things like that. The other thing you can do as a parent, if you're going to buy a new car or you're going to lease a car just for your kid to drive, is try to get something where you're actually paying attention to what things they have, what features are in the car to make it so they can literally drive hands-free. So that even though we tell them you're not supposed to use your phone, if they do use their phone, at least you're taking the safest approach as possible. You're not being naive to the fact that they may use it. The other thing that they have to know is just realize if you get caught and get a ticket for that between 16 and 18, that your driving privileges can be suspended completely until you're 18. That's a big hit for kids.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, make sure you research if you're buying a newer vehicle. Make sure you research the cell phone connectivity to that vehicle, and then obviously if you have an older vehicle and whatnot, make arrangements however you see fit. Another thing is most modern cell phones nowadays all have a driving mode where you can put them in a mode where you're driving, and if somebody calls or texts you, it'll kick back a message to the other person saying, "Hey, I can't talk to you right now. I'm driving."
Yeah, you know how diligently kids disconnect from their phones. You're right.
Correct. So another statistic to go along with that is 16 to 24-year-olds are 6.5% more likely to use a cell phone while driving.
That's exactly what
And
we're
like what we talked about,
exactly what we're talking about.
social media, TikTok, Instagram, all these things. I mean, heck, look at the folks that are sitting there making TikTok videos while they're driving, to post on social media.
Right, and how many videos have you seen, right, where they're fail clips of people that are doing just that and then they crash their car?
Exactly.
Well, there's your sign. That's what they're doing, and you got to be aware of that.
We got another one here is 59% of drivers said they've been hit or nearly hit by a driver talking or texting. I mean, a great percentage of our rear end collisions are just that. Even though it's slow speed, stop and go traffic, if your head's down looking at something, you're not paying attention, and in your peripheral vision, you might see a vehicle start to move thinking it's a green light. So what do? Foot off brake, possibly push the gas, and boom, you're running into the back of the car who was just moving up a few feet.
I mean, that's
So,
the thing that we see every day when we're
every
out there. People that are on their cell phones are the first ones to try to kill somebody on a motorcycle,
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
They're always distracted.
Absolutely. And that's another real quick thing is being on a motorcycle, we're kind of lucky because our hands are busy. We can't sit there and use a phone while we're driving.
That's
it's
for sure.
very, very difficult to use a cell phone while you're riding a motorcycle. So that it kind of, I think it helps us, it kind of trains us even in our off-duty time to not mess with that stuff, especially while we're driving. So here's a very interesting one. So 5 seconds is the average time your eyes are off the road while texting. So
Okay, so in order for me To send a text, I need about 5 seconds.
About 5 seconds.
Okay, okay.
Okay? So during that time, it is enough time to cover a football field blindfolded.
Yeah, what speed?
55 miles an hour.
Okay, so let me understand this. If I'm driving,
Yeah.
I'm in my car and I'm driving, and it's 55 miles per hour.
Correct.
Which nobody in California ever goes 55 miles an hour on the freeway.
Right?
But if, let's say, it's morning, I haven't had my coffee yet, I'm plodding along at 55 miles an hour.
Yes.
Okay. And then all of a sudden, it turns out that, grandma's liver's finally kaput.
Sure.
And I have to handle this text right now.
Mhm.
So I go and I look down at my text and I go, ready, go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And then I'm driving again.
Yep.
And that
pretty
whole
much.
time I wasn't looking at all the stuff going on the freeway.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. This is our challenge for distracted driving this week. I double dog dare anybody to try that on the freeway at home and see what happens. Don't do it. Leave your phone to the side, and please, please, please don't cover your eyes while driving. It was scary just being in here with him counting.
So just remember, when you're looking down, just for those few seconds, that's a long period of time. You're not paying attention to what's going on. And another thing too is we take driving for granted. We take cars for granted. These things are multi-ton projectiles, and they can hurt us and kill us very easily. So we need to respect vehicles, respect our driving, and put your cell phones down. You don't need to use them while you're driving. Pay attention to the road.
And for folks riding motorcycles,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
even more scary.
Please pay attention for us. So, I got a quick quiz for you, Rick.
Yeah, I'm usually not good at quizzes, but go.
All right, say you're stopped at a light.
Okay, I'm stopped at a light.
All right, light's red.
You know I do better when I envision these things.
I know, you're
Okay, so I'm
visual
stopped at a light.
spatial. So you're stopped at a light, you
Right.
got your cell phone, and you want to check your Instagram.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
Sometimes I'm trending,
well, yeah,
Okay.
of course you are.
So I'm checking out my Instagram. Sure.
Checking out the IG.
Am I doing that thing where I look at this and then pretend like I'm paying attention to the light?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, but I'm not really.
No.
Because
you're
when the
not
light
right.
changes, I'm just going to sit there
Right.
because I'm way more engulfed in this.
Oh, absolutely,
Okay,
absolutely.
go ahead, yeah.
So I pull up and I see what you're doing. Light turns green and I pull you over. Can I give you a ticket?
Well, no. Why would you be able to give me a ticket? I was stopped at a stoplight. I mean, I'm not driving.
Well, according to the law, yeah, you are. Even stopped at a light, you're
You
driving
mean while
that
I'm
vehicle.
sitting there with my car running in traffic with my car in drive, I'm actually driving?
Yep, you're still in control of
this
it.
This was a trick question.
That was a trick question.
This was a trick question. I'm
So-
not falling for that.
Just remember, folks, even if you're stopped at a light, you can't use your phone. It's still a violation of law.
It is 100% a violation. You cannot pick up your phone while you're driving. It's supposed to be completely hands-free.
Completely hands-free. And that brings up another point. Say you have your music or a map, or you're just looking at the time, and you grab that phone and hold it up. Once that phone is in your hand while you're behind the wheel of that car, it's a violation of law.
And we all sympathize when your mom, dad, sister, brother, any family member, your kids call you up with that emergency. We
Sure.
all sympathize with that. But honestly, if it's that big of an emergency, pull into a parking lot and handle it. Handle the emergency, but just don't do it while you're driving.
Absolutely. So thank you for watching, and I know a lot of you that watch our videos, you do it regularly, and we appreciate that. And those of you that do watch, I know you're obeying the rules of the road and you're driving as safe as possible. But if you have a family member, a friend, or anybody that you know that habitually uses their phone while they're
Your
driving,
kids! Tell these
yeah,
kids!
tell your kids. Please share.
They
this
won't listen, but
no,
tell
they
them
won't.
anyways.
But please share this video with them, just to give them a little bit of realization of what really takes place and what the
Send them a
laws are.
text.
Well,
No, never mind.
don't
Don't
send them
send
a text. Don't send them a text. Once again, thanks for watching. Hopefully, we'll be back with some more videos. As always, like, share, subscribe. We'll see you next time.